what? It's a virus. I'll never do what they say. The research on conforming shows that people more so are willing to do what others in the group think, even if it's not in their best interests, just so they fit in with the group, so that the group and the energy of the group does not impact upon their social status. Conformity and groupthink can have several negative effects on an individual and indeed on the group. Think about conformity. Now, it all sounds really good from the beginning. Well, join a group, fantastic. Groups can be positive, I'm not saying they're not. But if you conform to things that are not ideal, then you can lose your individuality. If you lose your sense of individuality, that means the day that you conceive going into a group in the first place means that you wanted to grow and now you're feeling, whoa, I'm being pulled in another direction, because conformity can suppress your personal opinions. And it means your creativity in the first place, in order to think and have the idea to want to go to the group, and your need for, say, individual expression, or leading to a homogenized way of thinking or way of doing or acting, can be put down. And when that happens, eventually you're going to realize this is the wrong group for me. Conformity and groupthink can also reduce your critical thinking. Initially, when you joined, you realized, hey, I want to do something. I can do something better. I can join something that will help others. Great, in theory. However, as we all know, online, in the online world, is not as similar to what's going on in front of people. So we can be duped into things. Even with the best intentions, it will reduce our critical thinking if we go to the wrong place. So when individuals say conform, they are not necessarily critically evaluating information or decisions from an individual perspective. Rather, they're thinking higher up and they're thinking further on towards the group, because they know the strength of and the opportunities that they're given, say in the group, is coming from the fact that the group is the brand, the group is the logo. It's the power of the people as such. This is why there has been big things put on the table. This is why I want to be in this particular group. Think of political parties, for example. Individuals often go straight up through the ranks much quicker than you would have thought. Before you know it, there's people that are politicians out there and you're going, how did they get there? I certainly am looking and look at many of them and go, what? And you too know that. That means they're reducing their critical thinking and they're just going towards groupthink. In other words, in many ways, they can compromise their own values. And this can also lead to a suppression of innovative ability. So if you're a very innovative thinker, if you're a unique individual, people think you're a little bit strange or a little bit goofy, but you have good ideas, or if you really know and feel that you have that ability in yourself, you might want to go to a group. Say if we're talking about innovation towards business here, a group maybe of investors will come in and they will have the money, you will have the idea and the ability to drive it, and then together, kapow, you have a big business, you have the ability to grow, and that's wonderful. But if you're giving up that ability to innovatively think, groupthink, and the people there, even though they have that money, it's not a good thing. You need the right people around you in all times, even if they have all that money, to be able to see intrinsically what your value is, so that you individually can come together and they can almost read your mind as opposed to what you will think in the future. And if they can do that, then they're welcoming your innovation, because conformity can stifle your innovation creativity, because those people might or could be less likely to propose, for example, new ideas that deviate from the norm. Then there can be peer pressure. Now, if we have peer pressure, we've perhaps grown up with peer pressure and we know what it's like, right? Bring in money, bring in your found ability as an adult to be a father or mother, or to be responsible for others. The peer pressure just to conform, just to make the decision that others are making in the group, that's completely zany, silly. When you have, say, a set of morals that you're now trying to educate your children or child with, if that child grows up and looks at what the decisions you've made or that group has made and you were part of it, this is where it can be toxic. So individuals might conform because of the peer pressure, even when deep down they believe that the group is wrong. That's where the future can dictate, hey, you did the wrong thing. You idly sat by and watched this group do it, and you became part of it. And this can lead to actions and decisions that go against your better judgment. And it can go very bad very quickly if indeed you let it get into your soul, into your approach of where your moral fiber is. That's where mental health issues can also come about. There can be, say, a constant conformity going on in group norms, or if you're just completely giving over to group norms, this can create a stressful situation within you. And if that happens, guess what? You're thinking to yourself, who am I? Like, what have I become? Or a partner might think that. They might say, look, you came here wishing to do great things. And look, I know you've tried to do those great things, but the reality is you're ratty all the time. You're stressed all the time. You're saying things that are not like you. I've seen you, like, say, take for example, a politician that's rotten. I've seen you on television and you're like a totally different person. Like, you're standing behind the main politician and you're like nodding to things I know that you don't believe in. This can also lead to poor decision making, right? Because groupthink can lead to suboptimal decisions, let's face it. Not always bashing politicians here, because we do need a certain amount of this. But the desire for consensus to prevent the goodness of what should happen, the moral fiber of what should happen from a group, from, say, fully considering alternative options and having specific, leading, expert critical analysis, even for the individual that before they went into the groupthink and combined, before that dead culture was there, before all of that, if individuals could bring their collective individual powers to persuade and to make better decisions, that's where a real confidence can happen. But also, groupthink can do a different thing. It can lead to a knocking of confidence or an overconfidence. Then you may develop, say, an invulnerability or an illusion more so of this. And this can give a sense that is excessive optimism. We're better than what we are. Incredible. It's us together, us combined. We're wonderful. But in fact, yeah, you're not. You're just actually losing yourself and you're all buffing each other up, when in reality, what have you done? And this can lead to risky decisions. There could also be a suppression more so of dissent. So groupthink can involve a dissenting opinion, and we don't like that. We'll push you to the back benches. We'll push you to the corner. We'll put the microphone in front of you. You guys are shaking your heads up and down and nodding, and you're all agreeing. Whereas members may, say, self-censor, to be pressured to conform, and this may lead to a lack of diverse perspectives. And if you don't have good perspectives within the group, a periphery, a circumference of people that can now and then dot into the middle and come in and speak on the big issues that are affecting the growth of a group, that means the growth of individuals is being hampered. You as an individual, as an individual may have hampered myself by going towards groupthink that's toxic in the first place. But if we don't allow individuals who have creativity, innovation, and are still willing to challenge the top tier of our group, if we don't let these people in to chat about and converse and differentiate where we're thinking, break it down and say, look, this is what's going to happen if you do A, B, and C. This will be the outcome. That's when we have problem. This dissent should be welcomed. We should be able to open it out. We should show accountability. By doing so in a groupthink that's toxic, we're lacking accountability. This is where responsibility is often diffused among group members and leading to, say, a lack of accountability for decisions made. And there's huge decisions to be made. They can be big and small decisions. We know that ourselves individually. This is perhaps why we went to a group in the first place, to get more strength of decisions, to get, as I mentioned earlier on, better opportunities. But if we lose ourselves in all of those things, that's where we become morally blind. That's where groupthink can result in ethical lapses or even make us a different person. I hope you're not becoming a different person. Instead, you now have objectivity and you can go and join a group in a positive manner and lead that group to a better way with your uniqueness that you have. If you've enjoyed this video, thanks for watching and watch more.